From India-China bhai-bhai once to now asking, can India-China become bhai-bhai again? A lot of snowstorm has passed over the Himalayas between these two countries. Between that slogan and now the question in 2025. So now the question that is emerging again. Can two ancient civilizations with centuries of shared history overcome modern-day tensions to forge a genuine friendship? The relationship between India and China has been anything but calm. There's been a border clash, economic competition, betrayal by China leading to the 1962 war, its friendship with Pakistan in the recent days, and so on and so forth. So a fact that raises a pivotal question: can these two Asian giants truly become friends and therefore a collective force? In a recent podcast with Lex Fridman, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi reflected on how historically India and China shared a rich history. He emphasized that deep cultural and historical friendship that have bound the two civilizations, thus suggesting that this shared heritage can actually serve as a foundation for more renewed cooperation. Interestingly, this statement was also received well by China, which is usually through its media been only targeting India. Chinese officials chose to welcome Prime Minister Modi's positive remarks, also expressing a mutual desire to strengthen bilateral ties. But I want to remind the viewer that China's words cannot be trusted. Its actions will have to be followed. So what are the issues, nevertheless, that possibly can help build relationship between India and China? Number one, economy. Both India and China are strong economies presently in the top 5 world over. Unlike the Western nations where their economy has taken a bad hit since the COVID pandemic, then wars in West Asia, Russia, Ukraine, and so on. Meanwhile, India and China are interlinked in terms of economy. In 2024, China surpassed the United States of America to become India's largest trading partner. Imports exceeded $100 billion, despite border tensions between the neighbor countries. This economic interdependence signifies potential benefits while maintaining a healthy competition, especially, for example, in sectors like manufacturing. So just imagine this. If these two strong, stable, developing economies get together as two neighbor nations, what a giant in Asia they can collectively become. Number two, military. Sadly, from the China-India War of 1962, especially the Battle of Rezangla, to the deadly clash in 2020 in Galwan, it's left scars on both sides. There were 21 rounds of Corps Commander level talks to finally reduce military tensions. Prime Minister Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping met with the hope that now there will be a path to lasting peace through dialogue and trust-building measures. Both nations have strong military. Earlier, the two nations even, remember, had the hand-in-hand joint military exercise. The last one reportedly in 2019. But it was the tensions at the line of actual control that put an end to it. But till it lasted, experts believe it helped in tactical activities, practices, and to efficiently plan and execute counter-terror operations, for example. However, recently, China with Pakistan concluded a joint naval exercise, Aman 25. This is where the concern remains, after all. Of not a collaboration between China and Pakistan, that's not happening, but clearly China's tilt toward Pakistan, Pakistan's desperation to be influenced by China, that does not mean well for India. Number three, diplomatic relations between India and China. Prime Minister Modi met President Xi Jinping on the sidelines of the Kazan BRICS Summit in 2024 October, aiming for regional peace and stability. Because frankly, eventually the political will decides how the two nations can progress together. The political will decide if India can keep the borders safe, secure and friendly with a country like China. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri met Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi in Beijing in January 2025. India and China agreed to then resume direct flights, visas, also resume the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra to the pilgrims this summer. They've also agreed to resume the dialogue on the trans-border rivers, sharing of the hydrological data that China has withheld for years. So amid all of this, possibly, Delhi-Kolkata will soon resume flights to Beijing, Chengdu and Guangzhou, benefiting both countries and its people. And finally, number four, I return to where I started from, history. Chinese scholars like Fa Hin, Hyun Sang and Yi Sing made significant journeys to India between 5th and 7th centuries as records go by. They were drawn toward India in search of Buddhist texts and teachings. In return, Indian scholars also went to China, fostering cultural exchanges. Ratnachinta from Kashmir went to China, translating 7 Buddhist works. Shubhkar Simha went to China from Nalanda. And I'm talking centuries ago when this literature-cultural exchange of an intellectual nature existed. World's 4th Buddhist Council was held in Kashmir, hosted by King Kanishk, where from the world over Buddhist scholars were represented, including from China. So Chinese scholars have always been curious and fascinated by an ancient India. The Silk Route was an established trade route with regard to the businessmen. Interesting then, isn't it, that for thousands of years, great civilizations have existed on both sides of Himalayas, maintaining cultural links, intellectual links, trade links. Now, while internally both sides had their share of warring states, their armies rarely crossed the Himalayas to target each other. So therefore, a reminder that if our leaders intend, especially if China intends, and that is a big if, we can become strong allies again, especially as modern nations, independent countries. Because unlike Pakistan, China and India both have a positive vision for their internal prosperity and global contribution. The journey to this friendship, if possible at all, between India and China is filled with complexities. There are disputes in economic interests, cultural ties, and of course border issues. So the friendship will have to be a work in progress. But just think about it again. India and China, 2 big giants of Asia, working, collaborating, growing together. It's a far-fetched dream. But what is life if you do not dream? Thank you for watching.